lines, skew lines, all the types of angles formed by lines crossing, a transversal crossing two other lines. Those 4 types of angles are what we're going to concentrate on with parallel lines today. You're going to see that those parallel lines are going to have specific properties that you're going to be dealing with. So there's a lot about these that are going to be very important. First things first, guys, if you have 2 lines like this, and they tell you that A is parallel to B, and I'm drawing that italic thing is not going to be easy for me. There you go. A is parallel to B. Those are in italics instead of cursive. I can't write it. Anytime you have A is parallel to B, there are only going to be 2 angle measures. Let me make sure you understand this, guys. There's only going to be 2 numbers on this whole picture. That's it. Out of all the 8 angles, okay, those 2 angle measures must be supplementary to each other. Must be. Guys, what does that mean they add up to? 180. Now let's show you why they have to be supplementary. Guys, look at these 2. These 2 next to each other form a what? What is that? 180. Why is it 180? Because it makes a what? A line. Every pair here makes a line. Do you see that makes a line? These 2 make a line. These 2 make a line. Do you see all the lines everywhere? So because these all make lines, you're going to be adding up to 180 over and over and over again. Okay? The 2 amounts always have to add up to 180. So when we look at this, we've got alternate interior angles right here. Alternate interior angles in this case would be the 3 and the 6, the 5 and the 4. Look at 3 and 6, guys. They're either going to be equal or they're going to add up. The only 2 choices are they're equal or they add up to 180. Those are the only 2 choices. Are these 2 equal or do they add up to 180? Look at them. Are they the same size? They're equal. So what's that called? What do we call it when 2 angles are equal measures to each other? Someone said it. Congruent. I heard it. Congruent. They're congruent to each other. Guys, alternate interior angles are congruent if the lines are parallel. Alright? That same thing holds true with the exterior. Okay, we'd be talking about, give me 1 pair of exterior angles here. What's 1 pair of exterior angles, alternate exterior angles? 1 and 8, 2 and 7. Y'all got both of them. Let's just look at 1 and 8 because I heard that first. 1 and 8. Are they the same or do they add up to 180? They're the same, so they are what? Congruent. Okay, next pair is going to be your corresponding angles. If I tell you I want the corresponding angle to angle 1, what angle is on the same side but on the inside of the 2 pairs? So what's it going to be? What goes with angle 1? 5. Angle 1 goes with angle 5. And what do you notice about those 2? Are they equal or are they adding up to 180? So they are what to each other? Congruent. There we go. Okay. And then the last one, same side interior angles. I want the same side interior angle to angle 3. 5. Those are not the same, guys. You can see they're not the same. Right? But what angle is the same as 5, guys? What angle inside here is the same as 5? The other alternate interior angle, 4. And then 3 and 6, right? So do you see these 2 together? The 3 and the 4 make a straight line? So if 3 and 4 make a straight line, then 3 and 5 would also have to make a straight line. So how much are they going to add up to? 180. So these are going to be what to, if they add up to 180, what are they going to be to each other? Supplementary, guys. Those are the rules. Get that written down. These are this is it. Okay? They're equal, they're equal, they're equal. They add up to 180. They're congruent, they're congruent, they're congruent, they're supplementary. That's it. That's what you need to know from this set of notes. This is what we're going to be concentrating on. Everything we do is going to concentrate on this concept. Okay? Anything so far just on the rules? We talked about these yesterday, but I'm just putting it there and formalizing it and putting it on there. Okay, guys. All of them are going to be congruent except for same side. Same side or supplementary. Same side or supplementary. That's how I always remember. Think of the S. Same side or supplementary. Everyone else is congruent. So here we go. We've got these two parallel lines. That's how you show parallel lines, guys. You're going to see these little triangles on them. Instead of putting little tick marks, they put triangles on them. That shows you these two are parallel to each other. It's another way to show that lines are parallel. It says right here that you've got identify all of the numbered angles that are congruent to the given angle. The given angle right here is 114. I need all the other angles that are going to be the same as 114. Alright, well, what's going to be the same as 114? We'll look directly across from it. This angle right here would be the same. Why would angle 6, because you got to justify your answers, why would angle 6 be the same as 114? Why would it also be 114 degrees? Guys, they're congruent, but why? Two angles formed by intersecting lines directly across from each other are what kind of angles? Vertical. You've got to remember that. That's because they are vertical angles. Angle 6 is the same because they are vertical angles. Okay? That 114 right here, how is the 114 related to the angle 3? Angle 3. How is the angle 114 related to angle 3? What kind of angles are they? The 114 and the 3. These two angles. They're on the same side of the transversal. One's on the outside, one's on the inside. We only have one type, guys, that has one on the inside, one on the outside. What is it? Corresponding. These are congruent because they are corresponding angles. Corresponding angles. The last one, there's one more, and then I'm going to talk about the pattern that it leaves. You'll kind of see the pattern. It's a zigzag. It makes it really easy to see every time. The 114 would also be the same as 8. Why is 114 the same as 8? What kind of angles are 114 and 8? They're going to be alternate exterior angles. So it would also be 114. Do y'all see the zigzag pattern? Do you see how it goes through here? I'm going to do it and then I'm going to erase it just so you can see it. So the zigzag goes like this every time, like a bolt of lightning. Every time. It always zigzags. Okay? And then the other four are also going to be the same. So if I want to look at this, these four are also going to be the same as each other. And I can tell you how big they're going to be. I can tell you how big all four are going to be all at one time. Guys, the only way that you can have this is for this to add up to a straight line. Every straight line adds up to 180. 180 minus that 114 is going to give me all four of these other angles because they all got to be the same. What is 180 minus 114? I don't think so. Try it again. You're doing the other. I did that too because I was thinking 4, but it's not 4 because you got to borrow, right? And it's 66. I think you went the other way because I did too at first. So it's 66. So that means that all four of these are going to be 66. And you've got to be able to do that on your homework. Notice, there's only 2 measurements anywhere on this picture. That's it. If you have 2 lines cut by a transversal and the lines are parallel, there's only ever going to be 2 measurements. You get 4 of one and you get 4 of the other, and they go in a zigzag pattern. Every time. Questions, concerns, anything so far? Okay, here we go. Let's do this next one. Let's do it again. We're just finding measurements this time. It says in the figure, the measure of angle 3 is 110. Go to the picture, put 110 on angle 3. Right, on the picture. Then it says the measure of angle 12 is 55. Right, 55 on the picture, on angle 12. And then you got to find the rest of them. Okay, here we go. Guys, look at me. These 2 lines are parallel. That means these 8 that are circled in red are connected to each other. It also means that these 8 circled in blue are connected to each other. Why? Because they're on parallel lines down here, and these are on parallel lines up here. Look at it, the lines are not, these two lines are not parallel to each other. They're not all going to be the same angles. Okay? But it's going to go in a zigzag pattern. We don't need the reasons why this time. We are just going through and putting the measurement. You tell me up here in the top, where we've got the 110, what other angles are going to be 110? What other angles are going to be 110, guys? 1. Perfect. That's corresponding. What else? 8. 110. What else? I heard the other one. 6. 110. See the zigzag? Zigzag. Zigzag. Lightning bolt. There you go. So I'm going to go over here and put 110 for 1, 110 for 6, and 110 for 8. I'm just putting them on the ones because people mess that up all the time. So I'll go ahead and do all 4 of them all at one time. Alright, now I'm going to do the same thing, but I got to get the other number. But how am I going to get the other number? It should be easy. Every time, what am I subtracting from? 180 minus 110 is going to leave me 70. So all 4 of my other angles, I don't even need to look. All 4 of my other got to be what? 70. That's it. 70, 70, 70, 70. There's no figuring it out. There's no doing any work. Once you subtract, all 4 of the other ones have to be 70. That's it. It's a zigzag, goes like a lightning bolt. Every single time, there's only 2 answers. Okay? Questions so far? And now we're going to do it for the bottom. I see some of y'all doing that bottom one. So what other angles are the same as 12? What other the same as 12? I heard what? 15. What else? 10. And 13. Perfect. You did it just like the lightning bolt. Zigzag right through. So I'm going to go ahead and put my measurements over here. For 13, I'm going to put 55. For 10, I'm going to put 55. And for 12, I'm going to put, oh no, that's already there. Which one did I miss? 15. Thank you. 15, 55. There we go. I want to put them all there so I don't mix it up when I go to write them in. I know all 4 of the other answers are going to be the same thing. We just got to figure out what it is. How do we find that? Good. Subtract from 180. 180 minus 55 is what? 125? Okay, 125. So all 4 of these other angles. 125, 125, 125, 125. So they have to be. There's no like figuring out where they go. It's just all of the rest of them have to be 125. Guys, you see it's the same thing over and over and over again? So we've got some algebra to do, one proof and then some more algebra. Okay, anything before I go? Zigzag, 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 everything's about the zigzag. Here we go. Okay, oh wait, anybody still writing? I'm sorry, I didn't ask. No? Okay, here we go. So for this next one, guys, it's algebra based. So here we go, right on your picture. The measure of angle 5 is 2x minus 10. The measure of angle 6 is going to be 4y minus 100. And the measure of angle 7 is going to be x plus 15. You're going to see these on your test, guys, because this tests your algebra and your geometry together. So you set up the equations, then solve them. If you see 2 of them have the same variable, solve those first. What do you know about these 2 angles, 5 and 7? They're what to each other? Congruent. So what do I do with these 2 amounts? Set them what? Equal. I'm going to set them equal. There you go. Why am I setting them equal? Because the angles are congruent, so their measurements have to be equal to each other. So I just set that 2x minus 10 equal to the to the x plus 15. I would do the x first, but that's just me. Minus x minus x. That'd be, guys, what's 2x minus x? X. Minus 10 equals 15. Then we add 10 to the 15. And it'd be x equals 25. It says you have to find the measure of each angle, so you got to plug it in. So this is going to be 25 plus 15. What's 25 plus 15, guys? 40? And if this angle's 40, then this angle's also got to be 40. We don't need to figure that out. It's just going to be 40. And now's where you got to pay attention. How is this angle right here? I'll switch to red. How is this angle right here the same as this angle right here? What kind of angles are those two? If I take my hand and I just cover this part of the picture up completely, how are these two angles related to each other? Alternate what? Alternate exterior. There you go. And those alternate exterior have to be the same. Yes, ma'am. I can't hear you. No, it gives you the same thing, so it doesn't make any difference. Thank you for asking. No, not at all. So now we've got these two amounts. We know they've got to be equal. Guys, I don't put 2x minus 10 equals 4y minus 100. I already know that this one is now equal to 40. So I just say 40 equals 4y minus 100 plus 100 plus 100. That'd be 140 equals 4y. Divide both sides by 4. Because you always got to divide by whatever's going to, because the whole goal is to do that, guys. I want to be able to cross that number out and get y equals. Does it divide evenly? I don't have a calculator. Y'all do. I got different numbers. Which one is it? 35? Okay, try it. See if it's 35. There we go. Good deal. Now, guys, what do I know about this angle, though, up here? Because it says find the measure of all the numbered angles. I don't need to plug it back in because I already know these two are what? Congruent. So how big is this angle? It's 40. I don't need to plug it back in because I already know it's the same, so I already know it's 40. Good. So if I gave all my answers, x would equal 25, y would equal 35, and then the three angles would be 40, 40, and 40. Just so you know, like if it was asking for answers on the test, that's what it'd be looking for. Okay. This next one, guys, is mainly on here because we need to make sure we keep up with our proofs. And some of y'all did not learn your things before, so you need to learn your names now. So we're going to go over them and show how you can add anything as a reason for a proof. So let's take a look at this next one. It starts off saying these lines are parallel. If it says these lines are parallel, how do I know that? What do we write down when they put this up here? Guys, what's my reason for knowing this? How do I know this? It's given to us. Just put given. That's it. It was given to us in the problem. And then I want to draw on my picture and show that. To draw on my picture and show these are parallel, I'm going to put a little triangle on this one, and I'm going to put a little triangle on this one. You're going to want to learn to do that when they're parallel so you can see what connects to what. Right. Now guys, our whole goal is to get 1 supplementary to 8. I've got to get 1 and 8 connected to each other. I don't have that yet, so I can start with 1 and see what I can connect to it. What angle in this picture is connected to the 1 somehow? 1 and 8? They're not any named angle. 1 and 5. What are 1 and 5? They're corresponding angles. So I can say that angle 1 is congruent to angle 5. Right? 5, definition of, what did we just say? There you go. Definition of corresponding angles. Definition of corresponding angles. You just told me they were corresponding angles. That's your reason. You just told me why you did that. Now, I have to tell you, this next part, don't make this complicated. We've talked about this before, but everybody gets panicky on this. I need to talk about them being supplementary, which is measurements, not the actual angles. So instead of saying that the angles are congruent, I'm going to say the measure of angle 1 is equal to the measure of angle 5. If I go from congruency to measurements, all I'm using is the definition of congruent angles. That's all it is. The definition says if the angles are congruent, their measurements are equal. So, definition of congruent angles. Definition of congruent angles. Now guys, what do you know about 5 and 8? Look at 5 and 8. We got to get 1 connected to 8. We got 1 connected to 5. Now how is 5 connected to 8? 5 and 8 make a what together?
Straight line.
A straight line, which means they add up to how much? 180, which makes them what to each other? Supplementary. So I can say, that's okay, supplementary. So that can say that angle 5 and angle 8 are supplementary. Now, we just said it's because they make a straight line. Does anybody remember what two angles on a straight line, what's that called? Definition of a what? What makes two angles on a straight line? It's in the name. On a line. Linear pair. Nice. I heard it. I don't know where it came from. Linear pair is correct. Where was that? Good, good, guys. So it's going to be, huh?
Sorry, what is angle 5T?
Where?
That come number 4.
This is an and symbol.
Oh.
It's that little curve, you know, the little thing that goes like this.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you for asking though. I'd much rather you ask and not know what it is. Angle 5 and angle 8 are supplementary because of the definition of linear pairs. Definition of linear pairs, guys. And if they're supplementary, guys, how much do they add up to? 180. So we can say that. Okay? We can say that they add up to 180. The measure of angle 5 plus the measure of angle 8 equals 180. And we talked about this. If it's here and it says this and you go to here, you're just using whatever is here to say this. So how do we know that they add up to 180? Because they're what kind of angles? So definition of supplementary angles. Okay, this is the one I got to get you to see. We'll see if y'all can see it. Okay, I already know that 1, the measure angle 1 and the measure angle 5 are the same thing. Okay, so if down here I've got the measure angle 5, I can replace that measure angle 5 with the measure angle 1. What is it called if I want to replace something? Substitution. Good. We're going to be substitute. Watch. Instead of writing the angle 5 that's in there now, I'm going to replace it with the measure of angle 1. And it's going to say the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 8 equals 180. Guys, I just substituted, so it's just substitution property. Substitution property. Okay, now it's straight off this. If I know they add up to 180, then I know they will be supplementary to each other. How do I know that? What tells me that if two things add up to 180, they're going to be supplementary to each other? We already used it. What did we use that said if they add up to 180, they're going to be supplementary? Or if they're supplementary, they're going to add up to 180. They go both ways. Come on, guys. We just said it. Let's get the words out. You got to figure out how to pick out these rules. If they add up to 180, they're supplementary. That's just straight out of the definition. Definition of what kind of angles? What kind of angles add up to 180? Supplementary. That's it. Definition of supplementary angles. Guys, they're going to keep using proofs. They're going to keep building with the things that we learned. They're not going to just give you proofs where you have to do it all on its own. But you do have to be able to build proofs once they give you some basics within the problem. Okay, guys. Last stuff that we're going to be doing today is going to be dealing with deciding which lines are parallel. This is always interesting. I always like this part. So it'll be fun to see if y'all see this. Here we go. Oh, I thought there was another example. Oh, I thought that was it. Oh, that must be on the next set. That's my fault, guys. Okay, let me put that last one up here then. I apologize. I thought there was more to it. Okay, guys, then let's go ahead. It must be in the next section. Let's go ahead then and put this in your folders, and let's go ahead